Osiris.
Welcome back, everyone of the Great Beyond. We are live. I'm Joey Parisi alongside Hungersite villain Bruce Robinson and the rap god himself, Greg Knight, breaking it down with Pigeons this weekend or last weekend. How you feeling after your big set at the House of Blues?
I'm feeling like I need to write some new lyrics. If you listen back to enough Goose shows, you can probably piece those verses together. But no, I mean, it was cool to be back on stage, like I never left. Clearly, check out the photos through Pigeon's Facebook. Obviously, the camera adds 10 pounds.
See, you're reusing lines like the great 50 Cent. Just coming back and reusing them over and over. Yeah, that's it. That's the money maker, dude. That's it.
Big L did it. Jay-Z. I mean, it's like, I don't write it down to say it once.
Yeah, no, you got to at least say it 3 to 4 times.
Yeah, the Eminence Ensemble sit-in sounded eerily similar to the last Mercury Lounge sit-in.
If you want to know what this shit sounds like, you got to go out to shows.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Greg Knight did that thing he always does. But luckily,
location. Put your hands up.
No. Okay, so
to be fair,
I avoided that. And
okay.
I structured a command for hands in the air in a different fashion. Listen to the track, you'll hear it. But it was like completely different structure, still the same command. However, that took so much mental capacity that I then had to revert back to lyrics you may have heard before.
Yeah, the mental regression from exhaustion. Yeah, it's understandable.
Either way, though, shout out.
What song was it on?
I mean, come on, dog.
Now you're trying to get into.
What is this? Is this an interview?
It wasn't.
Joey, you could have put it. You could have put it in the notes, dude. That's what
Come on, man.
That's what we need.
I was looking on Nugs. Nugs wasn't.
It's called Day and Time. The song's called Day and Time. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good. Greg just looked it up real quick.
Good memory. Yeah.
I think I can come up with words on the spot. I was gonna say time is night, but whatever.
Yeah,
but shout out to everybody that did in fact raise their hands. Special shout out to those people who raised too. And it's dope though to be out there. Like Pigeons, they're doing their thing, and their album comes out this Friday. It's called Perspective. I think it's their 6th studio album. I'm pretty sure because that's what I put in the press release. But it really like another.
That's a good publicist.
That's it, baby.
The people's publicist.
Another leap forward for them. It's the sound that you know and you love, or you criticize on the internet because you're an asshole. But it's like classic Pigeons. We might have to do a little bit of editing to this section.
Yeah.
No,
we don't talk about the haters anymore on this. After I just make I'll just make Facebook posts, and that's how we'll handle them instead.
You're the fucking guy with 1 rappers.
Well, what about the opener?
Oh yeah,
ElephantProof.
What about
surprisingly fire for their 2nd show since 2014. For those of you who don't know, ElephantProof is Ben Atkind of Goose, drummer. His
drummer
band,
for Goose.
For Goose.
Yeah, he's the drummer for Goose. A lot of people don't know who he is.
A lot of people don't even know who Goose is.
Yeah,
what are we doing?
Yeah.
So ElephantProof originated in the aughts. That's the thing that people say, right? At Berkeley College of Music.
I don't say it.
Someone does. Someone said it.
The aughts.
People, that's a thing.
I think it's a thing. Yeah, I've heard it.
You ought to know. You ought to know. So they originated, back in the aughts, and
you want to know?
That's huge inspiration. Berklee College of Music, so featuring, of course, Ben Atkind, Sean Cronin, incredible guitarist, Sean Gordon, Shon, not to be confused,
on bass,
Gordon, name of a bassist, and the incredible Chris Doc Enright, who happened to be the original keyboard player in Goose. So
played keys on all of Moon Cabin, or most of it.
Yep, all over Moon Cabin. Really incredible key player. And these guys,
he's incredible.
They met while they were in school and wrote a ton of great music while they were in school. And it's it's not your conventional X tier jam band stuff. It's really,
it's acid jazz.
It's acid jazz.
We could go there.
It's acid jazz. And it's pretty incredible. Acid jazz with a sprinkle of the Home Depot theme. Some T-Pain.
Oh, you get some rock in there. Yeah, you get a little bit of hit. They like to do a little bit of hip hop, R&B kind of style stuff as well. Like it's good.
They do. Yeah, a couple T-Pain covers. So it was. I was like, man, we got to get Rick up here. So really, really good set. Yeah, they ironed out the kinks. First song, but really, really locked in, and the room was packed. The room was moving. I think they were a little bit confused at first, but a really, really solid 70s music.
Yeah, that's sweet.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I really wish they'd asked me to rap with them. I would have done the exact same thing.
Boom, 2 times in one night, baby. The double dose.
And we had Sam Bardini, who's the sound guy at front of house, giving that classic sound, as well as Coach Lombardi on lights.
Oh, right on.
Oh,
nice.
Wow.
The multi-tool.
Yes, the human Swiss Army knife.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe he'll be on the show today. Who knows?
Well, yeah. Well, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening, transpiring.
See what the title of the episode is.
Yeah, I wish I could have made it. But I had to go to the Disco Biscuits, obviously. But I'm looking forward to seeing ElephantProof a couple weeks, right? Or in May, rather. One of those shows, May 13th and 14th.
May 13th, Putnam Place, formerly known as Putnam Den in Saratoga Springs, New York, and the brand new Park City Music Hall the following day in Black Rock, Bridgeport, Connecticut. That would be cool. Park City I have not been to yet, but it's a little gem in Black Rock.
Oh man, so Park City, so it used to be the Acoustic Cafe when I think I saw Visuto there or some Visuto open for like Formula 5 or something there, on like a Wednesday.
Couple epic Visuto shows.
Yeah, and so then it got taken over, or they changed the name to the Acoustic and kind of updated it a little bit. Same place, such a cool little concert venue. But it could probably only fit like 100 people, and it had a kind of a big bar area.
The cafe, you mean?
Yeah, and once even when it became the Acoustic, they kind of kept that set up, and then this time with Park City, they really open it up. It's like just a legit venue, and it's good that it's all wide open. People can fit really easily, can move around really easily. They have a huge bar. It was easy to get drinks for Talkback Sound System, which was also an incredible show. But yeah, that venue is sweet now, and it can definitely fit more people as well.
That venue, you're right, Bruce. That venue it's a staple in Black Rock, which also Black Rock, for those of you who don't know, is kind of this magical little nook in Fairfield County that has an incredible music scene. It is home to the Park City Music Hall, formerly the Acoustic, formerly the Acoustic Cafe, also Bryac.
Yeah, Bryac. God, little seafood joint.
First ever Netflix and Chill was there.
Yeah.
There is a little spot called Brennan's, an Irish pub that Twiddle used to play. I remember Twiddle did an acoustic show at Brennan's once. Their van broke down on the way to a show. They broke down near Fairfield and couldn't make their show, so they just played Brennan's that night. Little pop-up show. I may or may not have rapped California Love with Mahali.
Could have been a similar verse the other night,
for sure. Yeah, I did my Tupac hologram impression again.
Oh, nice. That's a good, it's a good impression.
Twiddle used to play this spot called The Field that's no longer there. This place has so much history. It was also home to the office for Gathering of the Vibes Festival. Shout out to Vibes. But I mean, just like
R.I.P. vibes.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
And there's so much history in this little like 1 mile stretch. Even the Bryac shows. I used to live there with a good friend of the podcast, Jake Ryan. Used to live a block away, and they had Funk Night every Wednesday. Funk Night was free.
Funk Night on Wednesdays, yes.
And it was featuring most of the guys in Kung Fu, and also
like Christy Angeles got like
Christy Angeles on bass,
Tim,
Adrian Trombitano, Tim
yeah.
Palmieri, now the guitarist in Lotus. Free Funk every Wednesday night. I mean, I had like 2 years of horrible Thursdays at work.
Oh God, dude. Yeah. Bryac gets rowdy, dude. And that was what's fun about it too. And it gets packed too. Like those Goose Halloween shows in 2018 were packed.
I remember
people were like pouring out of the place, you know, because you can still hear pretty good outside. It's just this little, rinky dink seafood joint with a bar, you know, and it's just such a great, it's so grimy and good. I really love it. I really love Bryac.
Little alley next to it, and like on the other outside of the alley is somebody's bedroom, and every single funk night they'd call the cops. And they close all the doors, and there was no AC in there. I probably lost my body weight collectively.
Oh my God.
In Bryac.
Yeah, dude. Well, Connecticut. And that's not a surprise that they would just call the cops every night. But that was probably loud. It was probably pretty loud.
This 47-minute Franklin's Tower is really keeping me up.
In some of these places, that's where like, Tim Palmieri is like a local legend around here. And he's just an amazing guitarist, and a very underrated, I think, and a little bit underappreciated guitarist. But, and having him local and having band like the Psychedelic Breakfast, playing out locally all the time. Like it's so easy to see good music around here at cool venues. And, Tim was actually just playing with Rob from Mo and Vinny from Mo. And this guy from, I can't remember the guys of the band, but, so they were just playing this like Blue Star Radiation at Park City also, and you can set up professional lights in there and everything now. And it's just really, I'm so happy. Plus it's 20 minutes from where I live. So thank you.
What would you say the capacity is?
Probably like Bryac?
Yeah.
Bryac, no way. Bryac's like 80 people.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
we'd shove more people in there than that.
Don't tell the fire marshal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Park City now, Park City, they redid the space. I think they bought the place next door, which was a barbershop and knocked down the walls. Park City is now about 300.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay.
And one other thing, God, it's Jon Lombardi, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, hey, there we go.
Way.
Oh, we might actually be interviewing him for this.
Let me just... Yeah, all right, actually,
dude, put him on the spot. Put him up to the mic.
Yeah, you're on speaker with the Great Beyond.
Is this not a Goose podcast?
You're correct, sir.
You are correct, sir.
You win a pin.
Right. That's up. Well, first time, long time. Originally hailing from South Wilton, but lately it's been fretting now. Question mark, but I would like to say, Bruce, what's up, bud? Let me hear you.
What's up, BB? I don't know if you can because we got this janky ass shit set up.
Oh wait, you hear Bruce?
Yeah.
I hear you.
Let me see if I can get Bruce on the line. Actually, I don't know if I can. I've got my headphones in.
All right, so let's just
call you back. So.
Yeah, we just need to get Jon in for the interview later.
All right, let me just pause really quick. One thing I want to acknowledge before we jump into the news is that April 1st happened to be the 1-year anniversary of the Great Beyond podcast.
Yeah. We were planning on doing something.
We were planning on doing something, but in true Great Beyond fashion, we didn't. And I think
we forgot.
We forgot.
You could
Matt
say we
Kalinsky
forgot.
had to remind us.
Yeah, shout out to Kalinsky.
So I want to just say, like, after this crazy year, thank you to each and every one of you for listening. I can't believe you're still here. Thank you to the Osiris Network for putting your trust in us.
I guess. The fourth. I don't know. Yeah. Thank you, Osiris.
and most of all, thank you, Sunset
Lake CBD.
Big fan of Sunset Lake. It's a farm up in Vermont, guys. Like, yeah, check out their products. They're very good.
Used to make milk.
Yeah,
used Vermont to make dairy cows. Dairy cows for Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Ben and Jerry's, and I love Ben and Jerry's ice cream as well. If anyone wants to send us ice cream too, we'll take that.
I just want to say though, I am out of tincture.
Yeah, well,
I'm out of gummies, and that's a testament to how good the product is. SunsetLakeCBD.com, promo code BEYOND, BEYOND for 20% off. But I want to let Osiris Network know, like, I don't know if you guys listen to this much of the Great Beyond. We will be going on strike if we do not receive more Sunset Lake.
It's good. Oh, we're putting the stake in the ground now. Okay, I like that, dude. My mouth was a veritable drip field of CBD for just
100%
day after day. You know?
We've gone on strike before.
Yeah, we went on strike before. That's right. And we're like, unless you keep doing all the work, Joey, we're not coming back.
Like sometimes we just go on strike unintentionally too. It's just like, I guess now we are, I guess, on strike.
Wait till you see what happens when we do it on purpose. If I can't lake and bake next week,
wow,
you can see his
problems.
You can see he's tense, and you can see he's tense from not being able to smoke the CBD weed that Sunset Lake so finely cures and produces. And you can buy for a 20% discount with code word BEYOND.
I need some cherry abacus to slow me down.
Oh man, what would an episode be without talking about CBD for at least 2 minutes?
I can't wait to have children. I've changed the alphabet.
Oh man.
A-B-C-B-D-B.
You only need the 3 letters. I mean, the Hawaiian alphabet has far fewer letters than we do, and I think that's more efficient, but CBD is plenty for me.
I got 3 letters. CBD. So
similar letters, TDB.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that, I guess. Yeah.
Probably the best segue in the history of this podcast.
We're on. It's smooth now. We're professionals now.
It's in Disco Biscuits.
I was literally going through my head. I was like, some more letters. That's how we can talk about it. But yeah, anyway, we'll talk more about letters later. But so Biscuits played 3 nights at the Cap this weekend, and I'm telling you, Capitol Theater, first of all, since we've been on this local music kick, Capitol Theater is also only 30 minutes away in Port New York, and it's an absolutely beautiful place to see music, and it's just legendary. And so the Biscuits always throw down there, and I know people have their feelings about Disco Biscuits, but man, when they're on point, they lay down some incredibly fun and epic shows. And they did this weekend. They played some great shows. Horizon Wireless.
Sorry if you don't. Is that what you mean?
Sorry if you don't. Yeah. SYD, SIYD, B4L, those things. But yeah, dude, I mean, it was just nuts, and I went Thursday and Saturday with a bunch of friends, Chris Quinn, Mighty Quinn Media. There was a ton of people there, and it was just a blast. And Saturday was probably one of the better Biscuit shows I've ever seen. And they really blew the roof off the place. So, and it was Barber's birthday. Everybody loves Barber. So happy birthday to Barber. But yeah, it was sick. It was sick. And I was going to say that Horizon Wireless DJ, friend of the band, Harrison, wrote the set list for Saturday. And I
really?
Very much appreciated that, because the set list for Saturday is absolutely insane. And they just really played out of their minds. It was so much fun. But yeah, the Cap, you can't go wrong seeing a show at the Capitol Theater though either. It's just a great place to see music.
Were you sweating bullets?
I was sweating a lot on Saturday, but for a variety of reasons. Had a good night Saturday. We're not, it was there were a couple new things that happened that I haven't experienced before, and I think some of my friends might know what those were. But yeah, which was an epic 2 or 3 seconds that I lost to the ether. But yeah, it was a good night though. It was a good night overall. Great weekend. But yeah, a lot of good local music, and we could just get so much good stuff coming through this local area. It's just always been something been so grateful for, and very lucky, you know, between New York and Hartford, and or if you want to go a little further, New York and Boston, you know, just in that span, there's just so many great places to see music and so many good bands come through. You know, which how was
the I heard Word on the Streets was they played Fifth of Beethoven. How does
they did, yeah, they closed out with Fifth of Beethoven, yeah.
You know, one thing we don't like to do, because obviously a lot of people can't handle this, is make comparisons. So objectively, how is it compared to some other Fifth of Beethovens you've heard?
Well, I mean, yeah, you have to think too, like the Disco Biscuits version of Fifth of Beethoven, especially at that point in the show and how they were playing, I mean, it was very spacier and vibier, you know, and you know, it's like you're like in a fucking club, you know, so it just has a different vibe to it altogether. They kind of deconstruct the song a little bit, so it's not like the following the typical pattern of how the song is played out usually. But man,
inverted.
No, I wouldn't go. No, and then invert it. But no, it's just that, you know, it's just a totally different type of cover. They just cover it far differently, you know. And I love the way Goose plays it, man. It just fits in their sets sometimes perfectly, and it is such a great song. So I don't give a shit who covers it. It's such a fun song. But you know, it's just like it's all about the choices and the timing for these songs. It was a great time. They closed out the encore with that, and I mean, it was just perfect, and everybody was getting. It was, I don't know, it was so much fun. They really
sounds like you're still there.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm still there. I feel like I got hit by a bus, but yeah. But hey, we're here. We're recording a podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out to a good friend of the podcast, the resourceful Pete Shapiro, obviously owner of the Capitol Theater. And what a great place to catch music. You're right. I can't wait to get back to the Cap and find more squirrels.
Yeah, and then I'll just, because, you know, another friend of ours, Eggy, another CT band that's absolutely crushing. They just had a great Colorado run. They played at Mercury Lounge, another local place. Yeah, I went to Covington, which is a great place. I need to get out to Covington again for some music. But they're coming back to Connecticut. They're going to be opening for the Motet in Fairfield at the warehouse, FTC warehouse, on the 14th. Spafford's actually playing there on the 13th, which is sick. And it looks like Marco Benevento's playing there this weekend on Saturday.
Polo.
Polo.
Enough about us, though.
A lot of good stuff coming up.
What's good, dude? What's going on, Joey?
Do you want to hear about my weekend?
I do want to hear about your weekend.
I'll take it. Yeah.
I got COVID, so yeah. No, but the weekend before I got to see Mark Lassiri.
Oh, Mark
nominated Mark Lassiri.
Snuggy Pop, right?
At Iridium, which like I'd never heard. It's like a Les Paul, like I don't know if he had anything to do with like the creation of the venue, but they got Les Paul shit like all over the place. And the way Mark was like talking on stage, he was like, I'm really nervous. Like, this is a really big deal for me to play here. I was like, I had never heard of this place. It's like a block away from my apartment too.
Iridium?
Really?
Yeah, it's right next to the Stardust Diner. That fucking tourist trap that is in the middle of my commute.
And this is where Joey, where you were in Hell's Kitchen,
this
right?
This is like right on Broadway in like the middle of fucking like a couple blocks north of Times Square.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, so it's not a fun area to walk around, but it's like this little like jazz club in the basement that like some crazy people have played at before. So I don't know, it's cool.
I don't know how I haven't heard of Iridium, but they're just looking at this lineup. I didn't realize it's right by your house.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
I'm definitely gonna go back. It's like a Blue Note that's like closer to my apartment that does some cool like cover sets. Honestly, that they're doing like a Linda Ronstadt like cover set that tell my mom to come up for.
Oh, I should tell my mom. We should bring our moms to this Linda Ronstadt shit, dude.
Yeah, Great Beyond.
I think I got some leftover shit from the Disco Biscuits. My mom could eat some mushrooms or something. No, I know she doesn't. Sorry, Mom.
Man,
at least I'm not talking about cigarettes, so it's fine.
We're gonna lose a listener soon.
Oh, no doubt. We probably already did. Probably a few fell off already.
So something happened yesterday. Maybe. I don't know. This is Monday. We're recording this, so hopefully something happened yesterday.
Sunday?
And no, Tuesday, because this comes out on Wednesday.
Tuesday. Oh,
tomorrow.
Day inception.
Tomorrow. Yesterday.
All right.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
I'm easily confused because of the biscuit shows this weekend. It's rattled me a little bit.
Something it did happen tomorrow. Yesterday. You're right.
Things do happen on these days. Yes.
New single, that the missing link in the trilogy of the Bourne Dripfields.
Oh,
now Hungersite.
Where Joey's going with this.
Oh man.
Which, I mean, the song is whatever. I want to get right to the video. Hopefully the video came out. Otherwise...
I cannot wait for yesterday.
Yesterday's looking real hot right now.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Like, looking into the future, I know El Goose is just going to be full of Bruce memes.
Oh yeah.
So, Bruce, would you comment on these memes that will be coming out tomorrow?
Oh man, I'm not looking forward to the day that we're talking about this day, because I didn't realize this would be happening. But yeah, I guess I am in this video, so I'm proud of that.
Yeah, man.
I have yet to see it, but hopefully
you looked good, man.
That's all I care about. As long as I look good.
They're gonna be calling it Thirsty Site.
El Thirst.
Why don't we watch this video live? Why don't we watch it? Let's get Bruce's initial take on the artistry behind it. I'm gonna send you guys a link to the video in chat. And we're gonna go high tech here, and we're all gonna press play at the same time.
Yo, the great beyond tech, high tech, technology.
Let me know when you guys have that video,
dude. I've been ready. I was born
all
ready.
Right, Mr. Internet.
It's loading.
Fiber.
See, Joey's got it. Joey's got a Chromebook. It doesn't work. Somebody needs to send us a computer for Joey, please.
We gotta get him an Iridium book.
Someone with resources.
Maybe Sunset Lake can send us a computer, with some CBD, like
that'd
a
be
gift
nice.
basket. Yeah.
I still haven't got my cold brew yet, which is why we don't mention Grady's cold brew. And but that's fine. I don't drink coffee. I mean,
that's insane.
I don't know. Hopefully I don't say I drink coffee in the ad read, but
somebody's got to balance out the two of us.
Yeah.
I still appreciate what they do.
Yeah.
Always all pious.
Yeah. High and mighty non-coffee drinker.
All right. I'm ready. I'm ready with the video.
All right.
Before we go on a 10-minute rant.
All right. All right. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
A few moments later.
Go confidently in the direction of your dreams, everybody. So that came out. That was really good, and that was that's also if people might not realize it, but that's like this radio edit of the song, essentially, where it's a little bit shorter than the track that's going to be on the album that they used in the video. And but yeah, it's tight. They did a great job editing it, man. It was really Karina and these two guys, Scott and God, I can't remember his name. I feel bad, but they were crushing the film work, the camera work, and they obviously crushed the editing there. These things take a while to put together, and they put this together in like record time. And it really came out good, and Jan is just a star, really. So,
but let's talk about the real star.
Yeah.
Oh, who's that? Rick?
Bruce
Talking about the Golden
Robinson.
God? Oh, okay.
So I know you're a bit of a method guy. So does that explain, some of the interactions both you and I have had on Twitter at least lately have been, for lack of a better word, spicy. Would your character here reflect, your digital interaction? Or is it more of just like, damn, I couldn't get tickets in the Red Rocks lottery?
Well, so obviously for me, for a person of ascended intellect such as me, and obviously that's why I pursue method acting over other methodologies that are really just below me.
Other meths.
No, we're not talking about the biscuits anymore. So, and it's like I really, want to get into character, understand the character, and understand their experience, very deeply and closely. And that's easy for me because I'm angry most of the time. Like I said, 95% of the time, absolutely seething with anger. So yeah, it came out pretty naturally. They asked me to be this angry corporate boss. I said, easy, done. I've been there. I've done that, So yeah.
Who was your worst employee out of all of them?
I want to say maybe Ben, maybe Jeff, I don't know. I'm sure, Rick was playing with origami little dogs or something. So I'm sure he wasn't working very hard. And obviously, Jan was, doing nothing, eating Chinese food. Yeah. And that's why I had to yell at him. That's why I had to yell at him. Yeah. Just farting around, watching YouTube videos and shit. So, should have fired his ass. But
I like magazine pages.
I love donuts,
piling up on his desk.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, we just had random paper. God bless the woman whose office I took that binder out of, so I could slap something. But yeah,
I watched that and I was like, I miss going into an office. Like so many ways I would occupy myself, except for doing work. Never got into origami though. It's good, I'll gear up for some new stuff.
So there are some, I know. So now that I've seen this video, so there are some we got some funny stuff recorded that they did not use. So I hope that somehow comes out, because there's some funny scenes there that were pretty good. I don't want to give anything away, but oh God, I do. This one scene with Trevor is hysterical. Anyway, hopefully they come out,
Yeah. Well, we can remind them,
I have to talk to Karina, the director, about that.
And maybe they'll drop some yesterday because this is tomorrow or whatever we said.
Oh, we don't want to get back into that space, Again, I'm rattled. It's been a long weekend. Yeah.
Right now we're 2 days from now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Damn, man.
That's what happens with these things.
Take me back. So let's give the people something insightful today. And talk a little bit about the music here. So, okay, I think maybe we're a little bit spoiled, or we've all had a long weekend, or we have long COVID. But
all of these,
this is a new single by this band that's adjacent to our podcast. I believe they created the band so that we could have the podcast. It's a new song that I'm excited about. It's an arena rock song, is what I keep saying to people. Generally, the people I talk to are you guys and our manager. But I've been saying it.
It's a good handful, though. It's a good handful. But same with Born, same with Tripfield. They're big. They're songs that you can make a big sound, big space out of, and these big environments that they build out of these songs. And even like Silver Rising and Redbird, when they get into those vocal rounds, like that builds this huge sort of musical space, and this big foundation for a lot of sound. And that's why, again, it's something that I think Rick had always wanted, a 5-piece band, and kind of for that reason, just adds these layers and adds more. It just gives you more things you can do, and build upon. And that's what they've been doing. And I think I would agree. These new songs can really fill out a space. They sounded great at Mohegan for Goose. So yeah, no doubt.
All right. Played all 3 in a row, which I feel like will be something special, right? Like, I don't know if they're ever going to do it again. I kind of hope they pocket that idea of playing all 3 of these songs in a row. Obviously it's going to be a thing on the album, but it kind of makes that third set of Goosemas a little more special. Having seen it, it'll make the fact that it was the first arena show, if that's a special part of it, that would be a really cool thing to look back on. But now being able to listen to all these 3 songs in a row on the album is like, it's going to give like a nice little long soundtrack to my commute.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that like I came up with the name Jive Sweet, but I never claimed it at the time, and I wouldn't do it now because everyone says it. But maybe we should take the time to like name this trio of songs, as one complete package, so that people can like this will last forever, unless people somehow give up on us this episode, which I wouldn't blame.
No, yeah, we're definitely losing some listeners, but that's okay. They're sane, rational people. Yeah, I don't know if I can really come up with a clever name for the trio right now. I, again, did see the Disco Biscuits this weekend. So yeah, I don't know. But it's just, you could tell like it was meant to flow together. You could see the space, like you could see how they were cut when they were releasing the singles for Born in Dripfield. So obviously this whole sense of cohesiveness is something that they were approaching the album with anyway. And, I'm just thinking it could even be beyond this trio. Once we hear the whole album, it'll be cool to see if the album just continues to flow together, which with the songs that are on it, it just feels like it probably isn't, but it would be cool to see if they do,
Yeah. Like how different these songs might sound, the fact that they might sound like very much one into the other.
Yeah, I mean, but Hot Tea it seems so different, than those songs, for example, and Arrow, so it's just, it'll be interesting to see.
How much tea do you drink in the office?
I've been drinking a lot of tea at home.
Right.
Thank God I don't have to go home.
So
in the office,
it's gotta fit.
Yeah, but yeah, it's how.
It's like, what the fuck are they talking about?
I put too much CBD in my tea tonight, and CBT.
TBD.
Yeah,
boy.
Hungersite though, good song.
Yeah, good song. New
good
song
video
coming out yesterday. Hungersite.
Yesterday,
they did it again.
Today.
They did it again.
I think that's the first song.
All right, so let's hear from our sponsors, and then while we hear from our sponsors, we're gonna find someone to interview.
Unreal, we have sponsors after this one. Yeah.
Who is that guy from the Hungersite video?
God,
Rolling Stones featured
Jan Weed. It's Jan Weed, former percussionist for Vasudo.
No, I'm talking about that bald beauty. I think I overheard him. I think he's vying for Skechers lead model of the year.
Honestly,
sure. I mean, they have some, raggedy models, so it's possible. The title I could buy for.
Shout out to our dude Bruce Willis. Heard he's going through a hard time, retiring from acting, but we'll never forget movies like Die Hard. Although it's crazy that the Illuminati just straight up released Bruce, this week and dropped him in Rolling Stone. You're carrying on the tradition.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I mean,
he's a hard actor to live up to.
Yeah.
If only.
It was either you or Bruce, the guy from Comic View.
I need an action role, dude. I need an action role. We can get product placement with the Skechers. I'm jumping and rolling off 18-wheelers and shit, shooting at shit. I'm like,
no. What we need is that me and you are we are like some sort of like corrupt lawyer team on SVU for like maybe a 6-7 ongoing part series that's actually intertwines with Chicago PD, and we're representing this like corrupt mafia guy. Always keep the money flowing.
Yeah,
but I think we could play some really funny, like kind of slippery attorneys.
Yeah, I actually agree.
So we're here with a man who apparently needs no introduction, because we're already in here. We're rolling.
Here. We're rolling.
The one and only Jon Lombardi. Some know him as Coach. Some know him as Luigi. Some know him as Lombi. Some know him as that guy with the rain stick. AKA. But a man who's been with a band that this podcast has nothing to do with since day one, since day -1. We're really happy to have him on this show to talk about a whole lot of stuff. I mean, this could be a 6-part interview. Who knows?
I'm thinking 12.
Yeah, we can
stretch
it
maybe
out.
A box set. Basically,
Yeah.
what they did for the Michael Jordan thing, we'll do that.
I like that.
The way the intro went, this will be like a 6-hour episode. So,
But,
this episode in general is long-winded. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, we're here with a future slippery attorney on an SVU spinoff mixed with Chicago PD. So honestly, John,
shouts to Dick Wolf, pick us up, dude.
Shout out to Dickie Wolf.
DW from Arthur grew up to be Dick Wolf. It's crazy. Nobody even knows that. So John, I mean, there's literally so much we could talk about just between, I'm not even going to begin. With
Me and you and Bruce
don't go down that hole.
Freaking hours. We
Absolutely.
can just go for a whole weekend talking. It's it's not having 14 or 15 or 25 times.
Many more times.
Sure.
A couple hundred times.
Too many times.
Our entire duration of our friendship and professional relationship with Joey has just been us telling him stories about what we used to do. So Joey's been with us the whole time.
Well, damn, Joey, you about to learn today, boy. To quote the one and only Kenny Simpson, you about to learn today, boy.
You about to learn today.
So John, like we can start in so many different places. But I think let's start with where the band is now. There's a lot of people who are new to the podcast, who are new to the band, who are new listeners, who, maybe got in around Bingo Tour, got in around the drive-in shows and are stoked that Goose just played Mohegan. But there's so much that pre-exists that. And you've had a hand in just about everything the band has done. So I'm wondering, both on the technical side and maybe even just thinking about the fact you're on a podcast about it, how has this whole operation grown? Tell me what's impressive about the whole thing, and really just what you take from all of it.
Oh man, that's a great one, Greg. I mean, we talking from before even the pseudo, when we're just hanging out at Peter Weeks' house and like Trev's jamming with Rick and like sees Campbell there and is like, hey, you. Yeah, you. And Campbell's looking like a deer in the headlights and Rick's like, yeah, I know you got gear. Yeah, I'm gonna drive you up the road, and like goes and gets geared, comes back and plays. We talk about that. We can talk about the Visuto days. Or are we gonna talk about
let's roll through it. Let's roll into the Visuto days from there.
I think we could do that, but really from where we started, let's say from where we started in terms of this operation with Goose, 9/27/14 first show. I think before that it was a July conversation we had, but I mean, from the first gig, 9/27/14, Seaside Tavern, shouts to, it's no longer there, but whoever Jimmy was,
Tavern,
shouts to Jimmy Side's Tavern, because your shuffleboard table and your little stage made it great.
And the patio there.
Shouts to Isaac Henry doing fucking sound for us. Guy's a great guy. Solid. But anyway,
patient.
In terms of production, from then to now and even the first few years of the band, I mean, you're talking a couple cabinet amps. You're talking, I mean, Rick used that same Mesa.
That Mesa
forever.
with no reverb.
You're just talking basically band gear and minimal at that, because at times between places like Stella Blues, shouts to Stella Blues, Middle East, and certain places we had these four guys, which would be Doc is well involved in that, or sometimes
now
even younger.
ElephantProof.
Now in ElephantProof, shouts to EP. Greg and I just did a great show with that this weekend. House of Blues with Pigeons, shouts to Pigeons. But going back to my point, as I digress, which will happen a lot.
We're known for that, I think. Anyway,
Bruce, Greg, and I are just the digress people. But anyway, we would fit into small nooks. And if anyone's been to New Haven, Connecticut, and seen Stella Blues, or been to the Middle East upstairs even, and seen that little nook, I mean, we would shove in there, and all you folks who play out in bands understand it because you've been in those spaces. But to go from that to, I mean, in a completely macro level, let's fast forward to where we are now. I'm a stage manager, and Marta Getty is our production manager for essentially, I mean,
And even an arena stage now,
conservatively $500,000 with gear on stage. So there's quite a bit of difference. Yeah. And the only thing that's not different, we are using a different Mesa amp, but that old Mesa is right behind his amp, and I always have it plugged in as my backup. Every other stage manager out there, make sure you have a backup plugged in, ready to go for easy switch offs.
Hell yeah, Rick breaks a lot of shit. So
yeah,
the proof's in the pudding too. Watch the Peach set from 2019.
Yeah,
the man can switch an amp.
Technical issues.
But that was a different, and now we have two right next to each other. But yeah, technical issues arise, and from another instance and differences is the Mousetrap 2019 when you guys call him your leader Bruce, or maybe now Rolling Stones guy, but he was our intern for that tour. He was out in Colorado.
I'm sorry, the leader thing. That's new to me.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you're the leader. Joey's really the leader.
Joey's absolutely the leader.
This, yes. Yeah. No,
I'm not even on the podcast. It's fine.
I'm not even trying to do this podcast, dude. Joey's definitely leading the way.
All I've heard Bruce say is like, I don't even know what's going on, or I'm not trying to do this.
Yeah, it's actually kind of wild. Like how many people I hear from, they're like, yo, Bruce was like saying some shit about the podcast and how he really doesn't want to do it.
It's advertising.
That's Bruce's life. He really doesn't want to do anything. So going back to the Mousetrap 2019, after we had Bruce as our intern, because he wanted to fly back after the Colorado run for like a day or two just to fly back to the Midwest. And I was like,
I remember he did that after Texas this year.
I was like, just stay in the van, sleep in the back with Ben. He's like a Cheshire cat, you'll fucking be fine, experience this. Day. And so anyway, long story short, we had a technical issue and a production issue on stage. Peter popped a string. There's a guitar. And at that point, we're on comms and stuff, but there's no in-ear monitors between me and the band and stuff like we have now in talkbacks with the escalation and production. And this is only from 2019. And it's like, hey, coach. And whoever's listening to that recording, you'll hear, I don't know if it's a Madavon. You'll have to forgive me if I'm wrong.
I don't remember from that show, but
because, pre-show, Pineapple Tequilas and Merchants in there with Bruce and but anyway, Peter,
Bruce spilling all over the long
we got
sleeves.
you your poster. I promise we got your poster. Anyway,
we did. Wrote it on the list.
Wait, what is that story?
Yeah, what happened with that?
We cannot digress.
We're not going to rehash that. That is actually there's some drama on Goose from years ago.
So but everybody was compensated, and I saw that same boyfriend sell his poster a month later. What hot take? Anyway, Peter into the mic goes, "Hey, coach, I need my guitar." And I leave Bruce at merch, and I run over to this stack of our deads, which now obviously we have since these venues are bigger, professionally placed, and Marta and I make sure cases are strategically placed so we can get what we need, whether it be a backup BI light, or cables for audio. But anyway, I had to dig through every single case until I pulled off his guitar at the bottom, got it out, got it to him, and we're good. Switch to a modern day tech issue. We're at the Mission Ballroom. Shout out to Don Strasberg. Shout out to everyone out in Colorado doing what they do. The Mission Ballroom is just an absolute gem out there.
Fantastic. Biscuits are playing there this weekend too. 2 nights. People should see them.
You like the Biscuits, Bruce?
I don't know if you're listening, Brownie, but you might as well plug this guy to either work for you or at least fluff you or something.
Willing to sell out for anyone. Yep. Just let me know.
I mean, Bruce is for hire. He hates this podcast.
Yeah. Literally, I'm just trying to sell out to the highest bidder. That's it. This podcast is still pro bono. So
you're welcome for the platform, guys, by the way. I'm still waiting on a kick down from it, but I mean, we will let everybody infer what I mean by that.
Slippery.
Slippery lawyers. I'm so slippery. Lou is slippery. But anyway, going back to Mission Ballroom, we had an issue with Ben. And long story short, Sam hit me up. One of his overheads was not picking up. And long story short, I have to go to the wing, mute it, make sure you don't hear the craziest loud feedback in the world, and ruining it for everybody, not only in the venue, the 4,000 people admission, but all the streamers, because we know you're so picky about your stream audio. But it's not like we have a lot of things to do at once or anything. But anyway, it's all about the best show possible. And, I find myself swapping out an overhead mic cable in the middle of a huge show. You know what I mean? And so that's just that's a great thing to have now that we have progressed so far technically, where we can, do stuff from just like, Rick pop the string, let's like grab a different guitar, let him play the set without it. I know Niels, shouts to Niels and Ollie and everybody there. But from that mousetrap thing where we were still selling out rooms, but they were smaller, to like still having to dig for his guitar, to now we have everything kind of set on stage. But bigger problem to see is like us able to swap out cables on stage or do anything on the fly in the middle of a 2,000 to 10,000 person production. And I'm very confident to all my bad Larrys out there. Shout out to Marla Getty, Andrew Getty, Sam Bardani, Danny McDonald. Shout out to Commander Q. He's out there doing his thing. Shout out to Sam King and shout out to just everyone involved in our actual boots on the ground touring crew, because our whole team is phenomenal. Level 11, Rival Artists, all the guys, phenomenal. Yeah. Everybody that you two Yabos and you three Yabos, phenomenal. Everybody from in every facet, even everybody from the front row guys dancing, Camito, I see you, to everybody dancing in the back. Everybody plays a part of this, but it's expanded quite a bit, and especially production wise. I mean, like I said, we went from having what we had on stage to like $500,000 worth of production on stage, depending on the gig or not. And it's just, it's a beautiful thing to see that happen. It's one of many reasons that kind of brings joy to me, seeing the progression of this beloved Visuto cover band.
Yeah,
as Bruce and I have dubbed them for years,
as they really loved to hear when we were saying that. Love that.
Oh, Rick loves to hear that.
Yeah,
Rick. Sorry,
but yeah, dude. And I was talking about sneaking into little places, man. Mousetrap was another tiny stage to have to sneak everybody into, and
and not only the people are fine, but it's like sneaking Getty's lights into the Mousetrap. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
and he goes, "It's going to be a little package," and I'm doing air quotes here for people who can't see me, but like, if you know Getty, little package means like we're running like 7 BIs and like 10 Vipers like on stacks. And Bruce doesn't know what that means, but he's like, "How are you going to fit? Fuck." I'm just gonna have a pull.
I want to carry more shit at that point. Yeah, and I was already drunk. Yeah, I don't know.
And no wonder we forget.
Yeah,
what
really.
Song he needed a guitar on. So then I guess at what point do you become, as you are now known among many people as coach? When does that date back to, and when did it become your official job title?
Well, just to clarify that off the jump, I'm officially, in terms of job title, our stage manager and video director. Coach is a nickname of mine and not a job title, but I want to make
it was at one time though, right?
One time when bread was just like something I bought at the grocery store. But no, I mean, even at that time, like I was a stage manager, just what people online like thought all I did was just some guy named Coach. But no, it comes in from several aspects. I was after my career as an athlete kind of finished up, when I was finishing my tenure at college, not for a doctorate or anything, just from undergrad.
Things take time sometimes, you know.
Yeah, it takes time sometimes,
Yeah,
and that's how you got to create greatness like this. But in my tenure, I ended up, since I was D1 lacrosse player myself and played professionally for a little bit in the NLL, the indoor league. I was able to become the assistant coach at the UConn lacrosse team, their club team, and then become their head coach for a few years. And before that, even precursing that, I was an intramural basketball coach in Weldon, which Bruce knows because he was a very
hilarious,
angry, lively. He's basically the same person as he is right now that all know.
Was a very good referee.
We got to release the footage. We got to release the footage of us balling out.
It was kind of a rite of passage. Like if you were an athlete, Weldon, or like somebody you would coach the younger kids in basketball. Then when you graduated, people like Bruce would become refs, and he was always in. Shout out to Weldon Park and Rec and Bruce because he's always been tied in with them forever. But yeah, so I actually coincidentally coached Ricky, and he was our first pick for 2 years. Me and my friend Dylan Gillum, Taylor Standish, Johnny Duco, shouts to the crew, coached them. I think and Tick Shelley as well. Atticus Shelley works at Spotify.
Oh yeah.
What's up, Tick? Hit me up, baby.
Could he even ball? Could he ball?
He tried.
Yeah, so he was our point guard, right? Rick was short, like real short. Hadn't hit the growth yet. But man, he was wet. He was hitting splashers from like fucking 12 to 20 yards out. Or 20 feet out. And
I don't believe this.
Rick can't play now though. He's tight, too tight for the guitar.
He was sassy and stuff. I mean, we did some pool basketball back in Raleigh Oaks back in the day.
Okay.
And
years
later, and Rick tore his shoulder. But back in the day when he was a kid, he could ball. So, and the name coach kind of took off. Just somebody calling me that because a lot of our early fans, which are friends of Carl Hughlin, Don Fuscos, people like this, I coached them, so they would just call me coach, Max Kramer, people like that, and it kind of caught on with the band. As I guess, I was I don't know if it was a father figure or a funny uncle, but I was kind of the guy,
funny uncle,
a crunkle.
Make sure everybody Make sure everybody was cheered up and felt right way and fluffed and ready to play, and basically max out their potential to show the world what they had. Because since the first day, I really sat Rick down and talked to him about this. With Trevor, obviously was there, but not fully checked in. And
strong power forward
happened. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Rick could handle the rock, man. I'm telling you, dude. And if he spent a little bit of time on it, dude would be like Andrea Bagnani or whatever that guy is.
No,
nice.
I don't think he would be, dude. I don't know.
Yes,
I don't see it, dude.
Oh yeah.
No,
Rick's
you know what?
Stroke. He's a
natural. I don't know.
Don't be
not like I'm going to give
dude.
Rick credit for a lot of things, but especially not basketball. Let's not go there.
Everybody knows Peter's the best basketball player in the band.
Oh, I don't think any one of them is athletic in any sort of way. I mean, that's why I was the athletic director for the shenanigans.
Is athletic. Rick is athletic.
Rick is vascular.
Definitely.
He's vascular.
His dad shouts to his pops. Rick, his dad was a great golfer. Rick's got it in him. I saw him at Top Golf when we had an off day in Nashville, and he was doing a great job out there. But great baseball player. He could throw the ball, but I'm telling you, he's wet, dude. He's wet. But he's prone to injury. I mean, with that volleyball, when everyone's like, let Rick sit, that's from a volleyball injury he sustained July 4th weekend, playing some rec volleyball.
Yes.
And back to my Raleigh Orcs story, that was like our throw him to the Wolves tour we did in like 2018 with Yunker and some people in the Southeast. And Linsky booked up. Shouts to Blimpy Man, Matt Kolinsky. And it was like me and Rick versus the rest of the band, and we were just scraping them. And like Rick, hurt himself with his shoulder injury. And I was like, well, we have like 7 shows, so just relax. But kid's prone to injury. Maybe not now. He's back on a different style diet, living differently. So maybe he's jacked. He's channeling that body.
Sitting Rick was a good version of Rick, at the time.
Yeah.
2019.
Crouching Tiger, Sitting Richard. That was an incredible tour. Yeah. But I think okay, one thing about that volleyball injury that was a point of frustration to me still. I had been begging the video director at Pace Magazine to have Goose come in for a session in 2019. And he was like, there's multiple reasons why we can't have this happen. One, I have no idea who you are and you're just accosting me outside of Brooklyn Bowl. Two, bands need 10,000 Facebook likes, which at the time, 2019, didn't have 10,000 likes on Facebook. I think that was an arbitrary kind of cutoff of this band is successful. And three,
I remember starting that account.
I don't know who you are. And so finally, I don't know how I convinced him, but finally I convinced him. And then it was a lock for the Monday after Rick's unfortunate volleyball injury. And
networking, baby.
I was so mad, but they never they haven't done it ever. It's star-crossed lovers. But whatever. 10, I mean, enough about me. This
up to 58,000 likes on that page now. Over 58,000.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. What page? Who you talking about?
On Goose's official.
Oh, I don't know who they
are. So speaking of that, not knowing who they are, what else are you What else keeps you jazzed in the music world? Obviously you're an integral part of what Goose has going on, but they're not on the road all the time. What else do you do?
What else do I do in terms of music wise or
not what are you currently doing?
Yeah, we're on a Zoom call, but music wise, that's why I linked up with you, Greg, when I met you at Carriage House 6C.
John, hold on. That's coming through too loud. That torch, it's fucking up your audio.
So
just wait till you just wait till you just hit it.
In terms of what I do, music wise, I think Greg, it's pretty similar to you guys. It's same thing as the night I met you at Carriage House 6C in Yukon. It's I'm a big fan of Fish, and obviously just nothing better than going to church with my boys, Widespread Panic, and just kind of kicking back and listening to stuff. But to be honest with you guys, as of late, the last 2 years, I get so much from our boys, the Basuda cover band, and what Rick's doing and what Trevor's doing and Ben pushing them and Dean and everybody, that I'm kind of, but the musical junkie in me is definitely getting off to the point where I'm listening to a lot of classic hip hop at home, a lot of sports talk radio, because I work a lot doing construction. Shout out to everybody out there that's got to work to pay their bills, because they work for their hobbies and they love it, and that's what you got to do. But yeah, that's kind of what's keeping me floating. I'm trying to get out to these at least one or a few of these Fish shows coming up here from the Garden, the rescheduled ones.
ISO Chase Bridges.
ISO, hook a brother up,
Come on, yeah.
Come on, I got the Beacon too, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing musically.
Have you lended your talents to any other bands?
In terms of just helping out other bands and working and whatnot?
Yeah.
I've been consulting with a few bands for a while, but actually one band that I'm managing since the fall of last year's formerly the Funky Dogs Brass Band. You can find them on Spotify as Funky Dogs Brass Band. We're doing a little rebrand going as the Funky Dogs. But yeah, they're great. They've done a lot of big things, and from playing MSG with Dispatch to Trombone Shorty, Motet, and a lot of people. But they actually have a song on the show Fargo on FX, a song called Number One off their last album. New album coming out, Vertical, but another band I'm helping. Yeah, I'm really excited about these guys. It's a whole other scene. Anybody who's a bit older knows about the Gray Boy All Stars. The Funky Dogs remind me about the Gray Boy All Stars, except they added an element of hip hop and a strong element of New Orleans based stuff. Also, Yukon Nation. Everyone from the band is a Yukon person, including Greg and I, who help out. So shout out to Husky Nation, Yukon,
and Bruce, two Huskies,
and Bruce. We're all here. So, yeah, that's happening, and I'm very excited for it. And besides that, one of my best friends in the whole world, Spuds Atkins, side band, ElephantProof EP. Managed by your guys is Greg over here and our buddy Blibby Man Matt Kalinsky. I'm tour managing and lighting director for them, and it's just great to get on, get outside of Goose for a little bit and see these guys fulfill their dreams with side projects with ElephantProof. It's great too to see Doc out there. He's the keyboardist on Moon Cabin and just an integral part in Goose, for helping us get to where we needed to get to keep moving along. Every single member of Goose was always strategically there to help and did so much for us. And all their time is appreciated, no matter how whoever feels after the fact. I appreciate all their time because everything was for a reason. And I guess another band I'm working with is Cerebelo, which a lot of you might know because I guess just because the combination of Rick Peter Jeff is too damn sexy. I don't know, but also
dude, when they got a candle on stage and they're playing with like wooden instruments, it's God.
And 3-part harmonies everywhere. Hot. Yeah, I mean the Arise at the Homer Performing Center for the Arts church. I'm just at front of house with screen, just like crying, just like it's like holy shit, Rick, fuck, dude, wow, moist. But more than moist, I was completely Niagara
just
Falls,
soaked, just wet, sopping.
So those are the projects I'm involved with now. I'm definitely into working as much as I can in the music industry, and very fortunate and grateful for what's ended up happening the last 10 years, going from an avid music fan, just giving all my money to Terry and every other musician out there, which people should do, help these musicians because they work hard in their craft. But from going on one side of house to the other side of house, in terms of, breaking the barrier, and going the other side in terms of that front barricade, which everyone lines up for, now being involved with it. And from starting a band to doing everything from booking, running sound, lights, playing an instrument, singing on stage, the whole bandit of the stuff, and it's very crazy to think about as someone who's just grew up a kid that was pretty fucking confused, not sure what's going on, all sorts of things going through my body at 14. You add acid into the mix, you're like, holy shit, now acid and hormones are together. And, you see this guy fucking just...
It's quite a concoction.
Massagio going, and you're like, wow, some more's out there. But, I mean, I'm just very fortunate for what's going on now. And without a doubt, would like to thank every single person listening to this, first of all, for listening to Bruce and Greg, because, I mean, I know Joey's great, but come on, you're listening to Bruce and Greg. So thanks for that. Thank you for that for me, because they're painful for them, friends in the whole world. But thankful for everybody else who's tuning into the band, because without you guys, we're just we are a bunch of music nerds, but that's what we'd be. So thank you guys for letting this platform kind of take off. It's something that, yes, from day one when I sat Rick down, I did know was going to happen and envision would happen with the work we'd have to put in, and with the clear talent Rick and Trevor and Ben had together, and their kind of synergy from their pre-existing band. But to see it happen, to feel it happen, to sit in an arena with 8,500 people after 4 years of having Bruce help me load kegs and pizzas, and from Uncle Joe's, shouts to Uncle Joe's, and 200 feet of Blippy sub and 500 chicken tenders and all these things, to see it happen.
I helped a small amount. I usually got there. I usually got there right when it was all set up, and I'd be like,
depends on timing,
Good job.
I was like, yo, put these cookies out, and I mean, you made sure, you definitely helped a great amount, made sure everyone was having a good time. helped me MC at times. Also,
Put the
just
cookies out. That's for sure.
Put the
yeah,
cookies
you
out.
definitely were putting the cookies out for the people. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Handing out the sweets.
Everybody
That's
got to
right.
eat, baby.
Remember the year I brought
Yeah.
the gabagool? All right, but I think on that note, and before we go too far, evidence. Let's talk about history. Let's talk about history. Because I think there's some stuff that really precedes even what we've talked about. But I don't want to take all the airwaves. So Bruce, there happens to be a question I highlighted in yellow.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh well, yeah. See, John, I did want to ask this because you'd brought up some people that a lot of people, names people might not have heard of in the scene, and a lot of our old friends. A lot of our old friends were around to help support the band as they were growing from Vasuto to Goose and through that process. And you were always a big networker for us, and started to build out a group of friends, seeing seeing Fish, like you mentioned, and connected a lot of us in a lot of ways through live music. I know we started those groups. You started TV online, which was actually a friends thing before it started online. But Team Blaz, what a lot of us were a part of. And yeah, shout out to a lot of folks. A lot of fallen soldiers as well. But and then you started obviously the infamous El Goose. Is what Goose Group was Goose first group. Or Funky Flock?
No. We were the Funky Flock because hey, I love everybody in Pigeons. I saw you this weekend. Love y'all. But
then we heard that they were using that as a fan.
It was a problem. I knew they were, but I didn't think it was a problem because our show was funky. We were playing some jazz style stuff.
Here's the problem. This is the problem from that time. Okay. Because we were spending a lot of time.
We've already digressed from the question.
No, this is the question. This is actually what people want to know.
We didn't even get to the question yet.
Oh wait, maybe
we were spending a lot of time at your house at that time. Remember when I lived nearby, and I used to I lived nearby, and I used to stop by Coach's house a lot.
You were like right by Putnam Park.
Mm-hmm. And for some reason, you hated the word gaggle. I was like, let's just call it the gaggle. I was like, just change the name. And literally for years, you were just like, no
way.
Nope.
Just tell me why.
I didn't like it that much either.
Yes.
Why? I will tell you why. And this is, how do the kids say it now? Respectfully, I didn't want to have to change the Funky Flock because I thought both bands could do their thing. We obviously had much less people. I mean, at that point, it was like my mom and everybody's mom on Facebook and aunt I could find, not like nagging. Like
I found that out with certain posts that I made.
Are they appropriating butter rum and more be like people like, great job last night. What was that song with Sadie, and stuff like that. But so I didn't think it was a big deal. And plus I thought, we could meet up as some bird band, cute pie in the sky one day, which hey,
it happened.
Dave. It happened, but I didn't like the word gaggle because
you still don't. I just want to know why.
Sounds like cuckold. Sounds like weird. Cuckold's a weird word. I feel bad for any guy getting cucked or any person getting cucked. Like I just wouldn't want to be in the gaggle. So straight up, honest answer. Barbara Walters to my, gun to my head. Reminded me of the word cuckold, gaggle, cuckold. Didn't like it. Straight up.
So you have a deep-seated fear of Barbara Walters holding a gun to your head and saying gaggle.
Scary picture.
If I were to be cucked, Barbara Walters would be the one who would be able to cuck me.
she's slippery, more slippery than people think.
Oh, Barbie Gags.
Barbie Gags. That's how she got those interviews in. But
she don't flock around.
Back to your question.
Well, really, the question is really about like
connecting, or just a statement. Like connecting people. Something I've always felt very close with. Friendship is a very important thing. Bruce, you and I have been friends for, I guess, since 1999. I've known you a little longer when you were like the intimidating tight end on the 8th grade team, and I was on the 6th grade team, even though I'd find out years later you're just a big baby that looked tough. But
I quit the next year, honestly. Spring football, I was just like, this sucks.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna drink and shout from the stands instead.
But officially known you for a long time.
Never change.
Freshman year, when we've been good friends, but connecting people was a big thing. I knew growing up in Wilton, a lot of us had similar interests, similar passions. It might be a little different in terms of stuff, but the bond of friendship was very important to me. My brother Luca, shouts to Luca Lombardi, I love him so much. He's severely autistic. He's Rick's age. He's 31 years old, and he's nonverbal. And I've just never been able to have that close. He's my brother, and I'm very close with him. Don't get me wrong, but the best way to express this is that I've never had that like full feeling of like I want him to tell me like I'd give all of this. I'd give talking to you right now, Goose podcast, the band Goose. Having started it and everything, even seeing the Fire 2.0 fish shows I've seen, to have Luca just tell me fuck off one time. Like I'd give it all. But so I don't have that, and closeness and stuff like that is something I always valued. That's why I always loved teams and being a part of the team because of the brotherhood there. So with friends, it was a very important thing, and I had different groups. I was hanging out with you and Ross and your people and Anderson. Shouts to Anderson, Steve Anderson, my man, crazy Canadian, really mellow actually. But I always wanted to link up you with my kids in my grade or the 04s, and I guess shouts to Chill Squad. What's up, y'all? Some of y'all, you guys are shit. And other guys are fun now, but. I always wanted to link people.
I don't have context there, except for that's very, very much shout out to the aughts. The Chill Squad.
The aughts.
But it was the 04s, and Wilton High, we're all about 05, 02s, there was just a big thing going on. The seniors when I was a freshman, the 02s, Ian Ryan, Zane Slutsky, the actually originator of
original Ted.
Fred. The original Fred himself, him and Timmer Wood, RIP, we're always going to shows, seeing String Cheese, seeing Fish when they were on and off because it was that weird time period. And they kind of brought it to us, and I had seen stuff thanks to, friends taking me to shows, the ski bus and whatnot, and learning stuff. And I just wanted to share it with people. So as we got older, obviously in high school, hey, Panic's playing. Everybody come check this out. Hey, this is going on. Come check it out. And try to get as many people as possible, stretching from Dave shows in 8th grade and Orr shows in 9th grade to like moving on to Cheese, late 9th grade, Mo, obviously peaking at the Beacons and all that. But, we get to college and just to fast forward this because I could talk for hours on it. And you guys know I could. We were kind of all doing our things, separated, and I had kind of gotten all the Wilton guys together between the, maybe 5 to 8 years of separation of grades, maybe from like the class of 98, 99 up to like the class of 08, really, and shouts to Billy Ryan, 98, shouts to whoever, Cheryl's Roops, Max Roop, 08, and all those people.
Cheryl for 3.
For 3, she misses. But after linking everybody, we were able, I started this page called TB, Team Blahs. Our friend Nick Roden, and shouts to him, called me and some of my buddies that Pat Hanna and stuff, and I had names for people. So we just used that as a name. And it was meant to be, as you see in the description, a PT just for us because I love the green board. Shouts to the green board. It kind of made me who I am, and I just wouldn't be able to have the sarcasm that I do without the green board. But
sick and
it was
place.
kind of it is.
It's hell now.
It was a place we could all complain and talk about the shows and talk about who's going to shows, find a house to crash at, say where we're going, get a ticket trade situation going. But it was all people I've known. You see that, and it's all people I've actually seen a show with. So as we went to college and separated and moved across the country, then someone that I grew up with would introduce, hey, this is my college friends. And I'd go see a show and eat some paper with them, and we have a lifelong relationship. And basically that just started as a community where everyone there I had at least seen a set of music with, and I could know, like, hey, if you want to complain about last night's aborted jam during Free when you thought it could have gone here, I'm actually going to listen to you. You're not some troll, you're just not some troll. Free Jam, right? Did that on purpose, but you're not some troll like at your mom's basement eating Cheetos. I actually know you, Dorenzo, so you can complain about that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And that's kind of what it is. And also, like, as much fun as I've had at solo shows, which I've done at least 100 of between different bands, it's just something about camaraderie and that brotherhood that I always loved. So bringing people together is just a knack I had. I wish it was schoolwork. I wish it was business. I wish it was like numbers or reading comprehension. But for me, bringing people together in business is what I'm good at, amongst a couple other things. And so I always wanted to bring people together just to have a great time, listen to the best music possible, because something special about that. It's a place where you can go to forget about all your problems and all your troubles for, half an hour, 3 hours, whether it's a set at a festival or a show. And as
hopefully 3 hours if Goose manages their time properly, That's all. They just have
to... Listen, I spent mad time on reading comprehension, and we still ended up at the same damn shows.
Well, you can talk like the best of them.
But a lot of that, dude, a lot of that, that all of that stuff with all of these people that you mentioned did have a big impact on supporting the band and raising the band up and bringing the band along in those early years.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people have mentioned to me, as much as people try to project certain things on the Goose fan base and kind of misperceive a lot of the things that they see online, I've gotten tons of compliments over the years in person and online about the community and the kind of community aspect around the band. And a lot of that has to do with this stuff that I think most of us that you brought together felt the same way about community and camaraderie. And, and of course, going to solo shows is fun as well. You get to meet a lot of people because a lot of people at the shows are thinking the same way, but it's always nice to have a family of people to go with, and know every time you're going around the country, you can stay with or you can see a show with. And it really did add to the culture a lot. You mentioned Ted and Fred. But that grew out of that. This is just an inside joke, and that's a lot of those jokes.
Inside joke started at Deer Creek 2003.
A lot of those jokes over the years come up with from a content perspective, and some of the stuff like for example, that everybody knows, like Bingo Tour, Get Involved. We always used to just annoy people and make these jokes by just repeating shit over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, this isn't gonna work, People were like, "Oh, fire, Get Involved one more time," and it blew up, and it really has worked.
Just I used to order a bunch of apps, a bunch of stuff, and be like, "Get Involved." I mean, the night pitched the band to Rick, I was eating a bunch of steaks. So I was not vegan at the time, and Rick was all veggie, and I was like, Rick, order all the fucking veggies you want. Get involved. Let's fucking
let's
talk.
Get involved with some funny apps, dude.
There's
some
people
funny
that
apps.
I still
forging
know
that
from
community
college.
is important. Oh yeah.
Forging
that community is important because you kind of saw it happening, and going back to Greenboard and old school stuff, like in the 2.0 fish scene, things were so divided because what was going on with the music. And
they're always divided because
they're always divided, but it was bad.
They're very divisive.
There wasn't many places to talk about it. So the Greenboard, you'd see people either hating them or loving them, or a little differently than today, in a more polarizing way, and it would make for crazy discussions. So I always felt what drew me to this scene, from going to see Strange Folk when I was fucking 1199 or some shit like that, to actually really and Mo and all that stuff, but to Fish, to really just seeing that community, and everybody who's listening understands that, because that's an aspect I have to assume a lot of people love outside of the music being number one. So always thought it was important to cultivate a good community and make sure everyone just was having fun with it. And then as we got older, Bruce, you deal with this a lot now, that I just had to step away from it. But, then you get a lot of people in the community, get a lot of opinionated people. It becomes basically a green board, and it's different than a TB where it's like, oh, it's a PT for us. Now it's like a PT for everybody. And I get it. We all got to express opinions, but everybody out there, make Bruce's life a little easier and just realize we're out here to spread love. At the end of the day, I'll fucking make jokes with you all day. And if you got something real personal to say, please say it to my face. I'll fold you like a chair and we'll get over it real quick because I'll buy you an edible arrangement. But besides that, know that we're doing everything in our powers because we want to, just to make this the best place possible, because it needs to be. And that's the most important thing to going to this 50 years of music, more years of music, which is something I'm such a proponent about because this is something I want to do till I'm 120-something years old.
One thing, as the creator of El Goose, Dr. Frankenstein, if you will, there's so much talk. And as someone who has spent time on the green board, who is experienced, who, if you wanted to, could qualify as a jaded vet, but you're not because you're optimistic and sanguine. My question to you is, when is the torch going to be passed?
Aha! To quote Jada Kiss. Well, that's a long and extensive answer, and I am very excited to tell you because I know exactly how to tell you.
Tune in for episode 2. Coming soon.
You know how to tell them too, but I guess.
And you know what we do with episode 2.
Good luck seeing that one come out.
There we go. That's it.
It's alright. All the freaks wanna come at night and shake down in the beautiful isolation. In the broad daylight, all the people wanna talk what's right and shake their heads while looking for an explanation. Inside they breathe the light, wish you'd never know.
What else is that?
Oh, well, so how are we going to end this if it's like we want to once again thank our very special guest?
Well, tomorrow, also known as yesterday, I hope we found someone to talk to. And if so, we really want to thank them for being a very special guest in this episode of The Great Beyond. To discuss all the things we did discuss.
See, this was planned very carefully, this episode.
And we hope they come back again.
We hope our listeners come back again as well.
For the 4 of you left.
Oh my God. I feel bad for the 4 of them. And even though the band still isn't on tour, we've got some very special episodes planned for all of you. It's almost as special as this one. Planned. Yeah, planned's a funny word to throw in there, Joey. Well, we had some really special episodes planned for you. Seriously, I hope that we're really excited about. So be sure to be on the lookout for those dropping every other Wednesday, as well as a possible new Goose Day Tuesday live show. So be on the lookout for that as well.
Oh, that's going to be super dope. Bruce doesn't even know about that because he went to the Disco Biscuits.
Yeah, there's a lot I don't know anymore. I don't know how I got roped into this podcast.
Take us home, Joey.
The Great Beyond is presented by Osiris Media and engineered by Greg Knight from his apartment in Brooklyn, New York. A lot of editing today. On behalf of my co-host, I'd once again like to thank Jon I almost said his name.
Whoa.
Their name.
Yeah, that's true. Say it 3 times, they actually show up. Our manager, Kathleen Knight, and most of all, you, the listeners, for tuning in. Be sure to catch a ride with us next time down the pathway to the great beyond.
Good job today, guys.
Yeah. Oh, great work.
Oh, man.
Osiris.